Okay, so I think I'm live. So, welcome back to this video where I'm going to walk myself through this NeetCode tree, and we are going to learn every single part of it through ChatGPT. So, let me just log into it. So, for the context, we are not going to directly ask anything from the ChatGPT. We are just going to ask for the so that we can move forward. I think this type of learning would help me get faster results. So chat is ready, and now we need a VS Code. Okay, we are going to open. We are going to open this section. Where is our JS file? Here we so basically we are going to do try to solve the problems in this JS file. So first of all, let's go through array and problems regarding arrays. I think these two are remained, so let us just try to solve this. So here is our question. So we are just going to copy this question and paste it right here. So it's a valid anagram given two strings as an S and T, written true if the two strings are anagrams of each other, otherwise false. So basically both of the strings should contain same number of characters, unique characters. So I think there is a brute force way to do it. So first we are going to try that. Let me just zoom in my screen so that way you can see it properly. I think there is no reason for this sidebar, so let me just hide it. So first we are going to define a function. So let me do that. Is valid anagram. So here we are going to get this type of okay, we can directly use this as well. That way we just have to only copy and paste it. So let's just define this with the function. Okay, so here it is, both of the strings. So the first, this definitely would be going to be stuttering a lot. So this solution would be easier and faster way, but it is not going to be in the optimal way. We are just going to sort both of these strings and compare it, and after that we are going to return, because if the number of the characters, unique characters in both the strings are same, then after sorting that, the both of the string will look exactly the same. So let me just try use some let me implement some edge cases. For example, if s dot length is not is equal to t dot length, then we are returning the false, because there is no way that this is going to be anagram. The number of character or the length of the string should be same. So here in another line we are going to sort both of the strings. So const sorted s, where we are going to take s, and is it's going to be string, so we can split it and convert it into array. Split, and after that, after converting this into an array, we can sort, and after sorting that, we can convert it back to the string with this join. So that's that's for the sorted s, and same thing can be done with the sorted t, where we are going to take t and basically going to execute same function on that also. Now after that we can return sorted s is equal to sorted t. So this should work. So let me copy and paste it into right here, and let's run it. So yeah, it's working as expected. But in interview it won't work. We can try it, but interview will ask to optimize this part also, because the time complexity here is going to be uh, high because of the sort method, because sort method have the time complexity of n log of n. So as the string length will increase, that complexity of this code will also increase. So there should be another way. So the another way that I can think of is simply converting this using an object. Basically what I'm going to do is get the single character from the string and add inside my object, and whenever the character repeat itself, I'm going to take that object and increase its count. So let me show you how I can do it. So first I'm going to create an object. Object is going to be empty, and just we need to use a for loop. So here we are going to use the for loop, where s dot length, and what we can do here is, if don't need to involve if condition in here, we can use JavaScript operators to handle this kind of uh, manipulation. So what we can do is object dot, so we are going to get the value via loop, so it will be s dot, inside s there will be the value, so the first character. If we going through the loop, then I'm getting the first character, and we are going to get set this character counts to 1, and if it repeats, then we are going to add another count to the same character. So let me just show you how. So here the same thing we are going to do is get this one plus 1. So first time the thing is this will be undefined, and undefined plus 1 would throw some error or give unwanted value. So for the first time we are going to just assume it the count as a 0, and after that we are going to add this. So let me console log this object. One second. Okay, we need to call this function as well. So the first would be car, second would be rar. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm getting this output that all the unique characters are repeated ones. So let me just add another r here so we can get how it works. So r count is 2, and what we are going to do here is we are going to loop through one more time, and at this time we are going to loop through the uh, what we can say t string. So let me just show you instead of talking. So here instead of s we are going to loop through t, and inside t what we can do is we just need to find the string and remove count one by one. So at the end of the day, at the end of the program, the object with all the properties should have value 0 to be called what we say anagram. So let's just do it. So here we don't need to use if as well. We can directly use this type of syntax, only we just need to do -1. So we can use it like t, and here we can do -1. So let's see what is the output of this object. It's undefined. Okay, so t is here. I am counting with this, looping through the t object with j variable. So let's just implement it right now. So here you can see the output is like this. So here 3r and there are 2r's. So basically 2 minus 3 would be -1. And let me type some valid anagram. Rack and car. Let's see. So here you can see all the values are 0. So now all we want to do is, all we need to do here is check if all the values are 0, and if not, then we can throw false. So let me do it myself. So for in, where this is the object, and if object dash object dot key is not is equal to 0, then return false. Otherwise we can by default return true. So let's see if it works or not. Okay, we can directly test in our NeetCode terminal, or we can say NeetCode ID. Okay, so the cases are true and we can submit it. These both are going to be true, so this first question is resolved, I guess, with these two methods. Now we can go through another question. Here is groups anagram. So let's see what it is. So let's just copy paste this into our VS Code. So the question, let's see what it's trying to say. Given an array of strings, group all anagrams together into sublist. You may return the output in any order. String that contains the exact same character as another string, but the order of characters can be different. Okay, so what I think is sorry. So what I think is we can use our previously built is anagram function right here to group all the elements. Okay, so don't need to comment that out. We just need this part, only the function part. We'll use it this in below question and solution, whatever it is. Given an array. Okay, so let me just get this groups anagram, which is a function. We're going to get array of strings. So let's just call it first with array of strings. So first thing that we can do here is it's going to be tedious, but what we can do is loop through each and every possibility, and it's going to be two loops, two nested loops, each and every possibility, and what we can do, the other possibility is that if it's not an anagram, then what we do, okay, so it will be singled out. So okay, or we can sort this array by the length of these inner elements. So the length is here 4, 4 and 4, so the comparison is going to be between these three, so that way we can group it as well. So let me just do it through brute force, then after that we are going to see if there is any optimal solution to our solution. Optimal method to our solution. Same characters on string, different. Okay, so here is our one for loop. with index, and length would be this, and inside that there is going to be another for loop with j index, and the length is going to be this. So let's just visualize it, that how it's going to be working. So first act is going to, we are going to loop through because it's nested loop, so we are comparing this both of these. So the first condition would be the index should not be same because the element is at same position, so we do not need to, because it's going to be an anagram by default because we are comparing the same element. Anagram, or what we say, yes, anagram. And now second step would be this act will compare to this, which is false, then this, which is false, then this, which is going to be true. So we are going to push in some, both of these element, we are going to push in some array. Now this is going to be compared to this hat, which is false. Now the same thing will be is going to be used for pots. Okay. Now the question is that the hat is very different. So at this point I'm comparing both of this, but I'm not able to find an anagram for the hat. So what we can do is push this hat into another array. That way, but how we are going to push this into another array, and how we are going to know that this hat is not an anagram to its corresponding elements? uh, I also need to figure that out. I'm not teaching anyone anything, I'm just trying to solve the questions myself. So uh, let me think. Stream is, I think, working correctly, and let me see if there is another, if someone watching. No, no one is watching, so let's just go back to the code. So first of all we are going to bifurcate this condition with I should not be is equal to j. If it's not, then we're going to enter into it. So the problem with this is that cat is also going to be compared with act, and it's also going to be pushed into an array. So we have to keep that in mind also. And how we're going to manage the array itself. Okay, So first of all, for the solution of head, I think we just need to push first element by default, and then after that we are going to push into the same array if you're going to find anything related to this anagram. So let's just try to, but we need to create an array first. And I mean, for different purposes we need to create different arrays, which is going to be pain. So how are we going to get this type of structure? Okay, so first we are going to define here a parent array, the const, which is going to be result. So const res is equal to this, and now in result, if is anagram is going to be strs dot I and another thing strs and j, then we are going to do something after that. So let's just simply push it because I don't even know what's going to happen. So let's go through the code first. Push both of these values like this. And just try to console log. Hope it doesn't show any error. Okay, so we are somewhat going into the direction of answer. We can just, in the group of two, we are getting this answer. Another thing is that the hat one is not inside this, so for that we can just push the string I. So I think we are also going to get the hat and act. Okay, I mean, it seems quite easy, but the question is pretty difficult. Mm, what we can do here? Mm, you can use indexing, but it won't work as well. No, it won't. Starting from 0. I mean, the brute force method is also uh, difficult to implement on this thing. Now the problem is that three of the four characters element are anagram, but we are going getting here only two. So there is going to be a way where we can identify uh, the possibility. Okay, I think I get it. So instead of doing this else, what we can do is, first of all, we push our string I directly into this. Then after that we're going to see is anagram and push our but I don't know how I'm going to find that array. That's the problem. Mm, at what index I'm going to get this array? Okay, so first is going to be the first index. All right. Okay. I get it. So at first, this is going to be first index. We are not going to push that into uh, no response dot index I. Then we are going to push j into it. So let me see if it works or not. Okay, so something has happened because we don't need to push the array inside it. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so we both get this, the anagram of this, and okay, so what? Something wrong. There is something wrong. I think I need to use different approach to solve this. I need to use an object, I think. Let's use object to solve this. So object, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this element as a key, and after that key the value would be the array of anagrams that this key produces. So the for loop will be the same, but inside the object, let's just comment it out. Object dot str dot I is equal to, okay, at the time of anagram I can use that part. Okay, so what I need to do is we need to create one for loop as well. mm, no need to create for loop. I can We can do directly right here. Let's just remove this, and we are going to compare the anagram. Then inside this, if this is an anagram, then we are going to just put this as a value, but this font is not going to be work because there is no empty array. So for the first case, if nothing is there, so let's see. Most probably there would be nothing, so it's going to be an empty array, and we are going to push into it. It's going to be strings j. Now let's see the object, output of the object. Why? It should work. Dot push is not a function. So then what it is? So it's undefined, then it's going to be an array, then array dot push is going to be this. Whatever, yeah. I think I need to do another for loop. Just frustrating sometimes. Let's see. Is there any problem? I is not defined. Why? Okay. Now what? Push is not a function. It should be because it's an array. So let me log it. Object. Okay, so we can see clearly right here all the elements are assigned to an array. And simply we are it should work, but I don't know why it doesn't. STRS is not defined. Why? It's defined everywhere. What are you talking about, man? In which file? In which line? Where is the line? Here it is. It's defined. Defined right here, right here, right here, right here. It should have given ID should have already given this error. Now the error is again different. Push is not defined. I think there is something wrong with this. Save again and try to do that. Okay, push is really not defined. Oh, I think I get it. Can we do this in another way? Mm-mm. Now it's time for the chat GPT, I think. Am I doing right way? Give just hint, no answer. Think about unique key that all anagrams share, like sorted version of the string. Okay, use that as the key in your object to group words together directly instead of comparing each pair. Okay, yeah, push. Okay, okay, so let's just wrap it here. We are going to do this in some other time. Let me think about it, and I will be doing one another stream regarding this question.